You were there, you let me know you cared. Your eyes said, yes you can. You helped make me what I am.
Thanks to Teachers, a TV9 Show You Care special is sponsored by Hardee's, Yonkers, St. Luke's Hospital, and by Slumberland.
I just want to say thanks to teachers.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bruce Downey. Thank you for joining us tonight as we say thanks to 9 outstanding teachers. These 9 people are heroes of our classrooms. They take the extra time and make the extra effort to help our children learn all they can. TV9 and our Show You Care sponsors, Hardee's Restaurants, Yonkers Department Stores, St. Luke's Hospital, and Slumberland, asked people from across our 33-county viewing area to nominate their favorite teachers. We received hundreds of those nominations, and a panel of judges had the difficult task of narrowing that number down to the 9 people you will meet tonight. Each of these outstanding educators will receive a special Thanks to Teachers Award and $250. It's our way of saying thanks to teachers. Let's begin tonight with our first Thanks to Teacher winner. We're meeting Kerry Beatty. He teaches 9th and 10th grade English at West Branch High School. The school also stages 4 productions every year, and even though West Branch is a small high school, TV9's Kelly Schultz says thanks to Mr. Beatty, they perform some big-time shows.
Lift up your head, wash off your mascara.
Little Shop of Horrors is this spring's musical at West Branch High. Mr. Beatty loves rehearsals. They provide some of his favorite times with students.
After a day of being in the classroom and dealing with administrivia and a ton of paperwork, to see the energy of the kids working on the stage, especially once they've gotten past that initial memorization stage and we're working on development and characterization and all that sort of thing, to see all the energy and then to see them not realize that they have become an actor or an actress until later when someone shows them a tape and they can't believe how they have changed and how they have developed as performers. That's probably the greatest thing.
It takes 25 people to put on Little Shop of Horrors. Already this school year, Mr. Beatty has produced 3 other shows: A Takeoff on A Christmas Carol, a show called A Tuna Christmas, and Suddenly Last Summer.
Good work, good work.
Mr. Beatty often puts in 12-hour days at school during the week and can often be found there on weekends, running rehearsals, helping students, or building sets. It's obvious these projects are labors of love. Mr. Beatty's first love is the theater, and his job allows him to do something he enjoys while earning a living at it. Senior Leanna Fawcett nominated Mr. Beatty for TV9's Thanks to Teachers Award. He was first her English teacher, then later her forensics coach and drama director. Thanks to him, she started to like writing.
He always made it interesting. It hadn't ever been interesting before for me, and he kind of had that spark that I kind of went, oh, you know, this can be fun. I can enjoy writing, and I can enjoy communicating and finding that voice.
Leanna plans to attend Northwestern University in Illinois next year to study communications and business. Mr. Beatty's guidance over the last 4 years helped her decide what she wanted to do for a living.
He's probably one of the most dedicated teachers I know. He's always there for the students, and he's always willing to spend any of his free time helping them, whether it's with classwork or on some part of the show they need to work on, or whether it's a speech, or whether it's, you know, some application for college or something else. He's always there to lend his assistance.
Mr. Beatty left the teaching profession a couple of years ago, but his love of teaching brought him back. He says he gets as much from his students as he gives.
I really enjoy every day of working with the students there. They are rejuvenating, they are enervating. Everything that can be said about their energy transfers to the teacher, and all of it good. You know, and all of it challenging. Some of it's not a good challenge, but it's still a challenge, and I think I learn something every single day the way I hope they are.
Leanna is graduating this year, but she says the knowledge, skills, and self-confidence Mr. Beatty instilled in her will remain long after she leaves West Branch High School. Join me, TV9, and our Show You Care sponsors now as we say thanks to teacher Kerry Beatty.
Thank you. I'd like to thank KCRG and the sponsors who, through these programs, demonstrate their commitment to all the people of Eastern Iowa and bring us all together as one large community. I also want to thank my fellow teachers at West Branch High School, all of whom are equally deserving of recognition. I was just lucky to get one who could write. And of course, to the student who nominated me, Liana Fawcett, who is an exemplary student and certainly one of the rewards of being a teacher. And to all the kids at West Branch who are waiting for the secret signal, there it is. Thank you.
Congratulations. What makes a great teacher? It could be dedication to the job. It could be the energy that teacher brings to a classroom. It could be a love of kids and a sincere desire to help them do their very best. Well, I recently met a woman in Cedar Rapids who has all of this and much more. She is Sally Belts, and she teaches at Polk Elementary in Cedar Rapids.
I would like to have those to check them out this afternoon, so if you would please put them up here on this blue chair when you're all finished with your name.
Meet Belts' Bunch. This group of second and third graders meets just about every day, Monday through Friday, at Polk Elementary in Cedar Rapids. This is their group leader, their guide, their counselor, their friend. This is their teacher, Sally Belts.
First job we have to do is take our markers.
Mrs. Belts is only in her 6th year of teaching. She moved into this career a little later than most people.
When my children went to school, I started being a teacher associate in the school systems and had been here 5 years when the principal that was here had encouraged me, and I knew that I came here every day and loved doing it, and so I just thought it was time to go back and finish.
She completed her degree at Mount Mercy College and found herself right back at Polk, but this time as a full-fledged teacher.
I really love kids. I do, and I always have, I think, since I was very young, and so that was what attracted me. It's different every day. Watching them learn is a real exciting thing. They just, when they get it and the light bulb goes on, there's no better feeling.
And the kids really like her, especially Cody Picard. This second grader nominated Sally Belts for thanks to teachers. And when he explains why, he gets right to the point.
She's a good teacher and she teaches us a lot.
Cody's mother often visits his class and always leaves impressed.
She's got an excellent personality with children, and you can just see how she glows when she teaches, and the kids just enjoy having her around.
On the nomination paper, Cody wrote, "My teacher is just the best. She is kind and caring. Mrs. Belts not only teaches us, but she takes time to listen when something's wrong, and that is special."
I feel really proud that he said that. I think listening to them is a really important thing, that sometimes, even with our own children, we just get busy. Everybody gets busy, and if we take time to do that, and that lets them know that we love them. And I feel like the more we let them know that, the more they want to succeed at what they're doing. So, but it was amazing. I don't know. I guess I was surprised and pleased and felt really good about it.
And she should feel good about that. When I was in her classroom, I got the feeling that the other students appreciate Mrs. Belts just as much as Cody does. Please join me in saying thanks to Sally Belts from Polk Elementary School in Cedar Rapids.
First of all, I'd like to thank Cody and his family for nominating me for the Thanks to Teachers Award. I would like to say thank you also to my family and my friends and colleagues for their support. And I'd like to thank KCRG and the corporate Show You Care sponsors, Hardy Slumberland, St. Luke's, and Yonkers, for this honor. I feel proud of my profession and appreciate the recognition that you are giving educators through this program. I know there are so many hard-working, caring, dedicated teachers that I feel honored to represent them. A belief passed on to me that guides my classroom is that if I love my students, listen to them, and laugh with them, we will learn together. There's a quote on my principal's desk that to me is the essence of what is important in teaching our children, and it says, "And what is as important as knowledge?" asked the mind. "Caring and seeing with the heart," answered the soul. I feel fortunate to have a job that I love and one where I can have the opportunity to make a difference in children's lives. Thank you. Also, I have to say, hi, Pope kids.
We'll say more thanks to teachers in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to Thanks to Teachers, a TV9 Show You Care special. I'm Bruce Downey. I think most men my age probably remember shop class. Unfortunately for me, those memories are not always the best, but the arts of metal and woodworking have changed dramatically over the past few years. And Harry Black of Monticello High School is leading the way. He's turned shop class into a high-tech wonderland, and many of his students find themselves more than prepared for work and college. TV9's Gerald Resnick says Harry Black wants his students to be ready for the real world.
What I would do is put it like this. You'll always find a flurry of activity in Harry Black's classroom, Monticello High School shop.
I'm not a shop teacher, and I always refer to shop as being something you do at Christmas time.
Students here no longer learn the metal and woodworking you might remember. Black Shop teaches complicated physics, mathematics, and chemistry. It's a program he developed 4 years ago called Mathematics Integrated with Science and Technology, or MIST, a program now emulated across the country.
Instead of just reading it out of a textbook and trying to get the picture, you get the picture and you're doing it. You're not like reading it, you're like making it happen.
My philosophy of teaching probably has been that half of doing something is the willingness to try. And if you don't try, there's not going to be any gain. You'll never know. And you don't have anything to lose by trying.
Black also teaches by example. He has taken college courses every summer for 32 years to learn new things. No one in his class ever fails. Junior Josh Monk nominated Black for Thanks to Teachers.
He understands your troubles. He tries helping you out. Like if you have a problem on math, something, he'll try helping you out.
Harry Black hopes what he teaches his students they take with them into the real world, whether they attend college or not. For instance, he got a grant so the school could buy this cappuccino bar. You might wonder, what does a cup of coffee have to do with a high school education? He says it teaches these students how to be entrepreneurs and how to run a business.
Other grants totaling $400,000 bought this stress analyzer, a computer-aided design lathe, and this robotic arm, also run by a sophisticated computer. The 54-year-old teacher is now ready to leave it all behind. He retires May 28th after more than 33 years in the classroom.
I'm leaving behind all the technology, and I'm leaving behind a lot of kids. I'm leaving behind a lot of good teachers that I like.
I think Monticello's really going to miss him because he's done a lot for this school.
It'll be sad without him here.
Black's future plans include starting a business or consulting work and
maybe take a trek to the Himalayas.
Something new to learn and a lesson to these students to reach for the highest heights.
Because that'll make it perpendicular with the sun.
Mr. Black also helped design an industrial technology lab for Monticello's new high school. Join me now as we say thanks to teacher Harry Black from Monticello High School.
Hi, Monticello. I'd like to take this moment to thank kcrg and the sponsors of this teacher recognition program, and I'm very honored, and I just want to say thank you for this special honor. I'd also like to take a moment to thank Doug Monk and Josh Monk. I've had both father and son in class, and they have nominated me for this award, and I want to thank them. Least but not last, certainly is last but not least, the student body at Monticello and all the faculty and the administration. And I'm going to be sorry to leave all the students, and I'm here today because of the students of Monticello. I'd like to take a few moments just to comment about my career. I've taught for 33 years, and it's been industrial arts and industrial technology. I'd like to say a little bit about that. Industrial technology is this area that falls in the area of vocational education, which is consumer science, agriculture, and business. And sometimes there's some misunderstanding, but I'd like to emphasize that these programs are feeders to our community colleges, they're feeders to apprenticeships, school to work, internships, etc. But yet some schools have chosen to reduce these programs and make them so that they're not available to students. And then we look back and we wonder why we have some dropouts. I would very much like to take and have all students and faculty and business and industry take a real hard look at the placement percentages in these programs and also the starting salaries. And I'd like to have all work together that these programs that we have aren't something that we would just like to have, but they're something that we will have. Thank you.
The first words we read from the nomination form for our next teacher said that he put the special into special education. David Bousfield is a resource room teacher at Lemmy Elementary School in Iowa City. TV9's Iowa City reporter Mike Wagner tells why students who see Mr. B are the ones who are especially lucky.
Oh, I certainly would like this program to have visibility and not in a negative sense, so that kids have contact with me. They see that, no, this is not a class for dummies in here. Certainly we work with kids that have learning differences, but in many regards, I think you could single out any student and identify a learning difference with them.
Lemmy Elementary School teacher David Bousfield helps students turn those learning differences into skills that allow them to make a difference later in life.
My trophy case is behind you in a file drawer, and it really is just a manila folder of recognition, not from other teachers or adults, but it's the things that kids have written me over the years.
Those letters are from students Mr. B has helped during his 22-year career with the Iowa City School District. His patient and focused teaching techniques are inspired by a teacher he had in the 6th grade.
He just was very personable and took interest in our own personal activities, brought a lot of variety to the classroom in terms of the types of activities that he brought with curriculum.
Mr. B's curriculum covers many topics. As the resource room instructor, he helps students with math, English, social studies, a little of everything.
We talk about the key is really flexibility, just being able to adapt to kids and their needs and to personal situations.
A great confidence builder, knowing that you can send your child off in the morning and they're going to have a successful day.
Vicki Walsh says Mr. B helped her 2 children and they didn't feel ashamed because they needed help. That sense of caring led her to nominate him for TV9's Thanks to Teachers Award.
He's helped them through a lot of rough spots and kept them in the classroom succeeding in whatever it is.
Under every lesson lies another lesson in perseverance.
And weather it through and keep your standards high, set your goals, and aim. You've heard the expressions that teachers touch lives. Well, I really choose to invest in lives.
It's an investment that will help pay off for these kids for the rest of their lives.
Outline of it, but I want you to...
Mr. B also heads up his school's social committee and teaches computer classes to other teachers. He's also a husband and a father of 2 children. Please welcome David Bousfield from Lemmy Elementary School in Iowa City.
Winston Churchill once said that we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. 9 educators stand with me tonight for public recognition of excellence in education. And each of us have untold stories of lives of students that we've given to and how we have been influenced by them. This has been particularly true of me in special education, where I've learned that achieving excellence is never an accident, but a process of planning purposefully, preparing prayerfully, proceeding positively, and pursuing persistently. To those students I have served, and to their parents who have allowed me into the lives of their children, I say thank you. To KCRG and Show You Care sponsors, I express my gratitude on behalf of all educators who have chosen teaching as a life, not merely a living, and in doing so have discovered in the giving we too have received. Thank you.
We'll say more thanks to teachers in a moment, so stay with us. Welcome back to Thanks to Teachers, a TV9 Show You Care special. I'm Bruce Downey. Not all of the teachers we're honoring tonight focus their educational efforts on school-age children. Roxanne Dittmer helps even younger kids as part of Project Peace at Taylor Elementary School in Cedar Rapids. TV9's Wendy Brown says Roxanne Dittmer's work touches the lives of children and their families.
Learning is busy work for these little ones in Cedar Rapids. Everything they do in Roxanne Dittmer's classroom is a lesson in life. But look around. You'll see this is more than your average preschool program. This is a place where parents learn as much or even more than their kids. This is Project Peace. Most of the families involved in the program at Taylor Elementary School either were or are in crisis. Shelley Dykstra has been in Project Peace since the program began 6 years ago.
I had my first child when I was 17, and I just didn't know half as much as I thought I did.
Shelley says that inexperience was about to cost her custody of her children, but when she came to Roxanne's classroom, the unique combination of love, time, and teaching took hold.
My kids are everything to me, and Roxanne is one of the people that helped me more than anyone. And she didn't sit in judgment of me, I guess is a thing. You know, so many people sit in judgment of what you are. Roxanne don't sit in judgment. She just tries to help you become who you want to be and who's best for your children.
Parents say Roxanne does that through a gentle combination of affection and attention to everyone in her class. She offers suggestions for dealing with disgruntled kids, parenting problems, organizational challenges. Roxanne doesn't see her class or her work as some kind of a magic pill for parents. She sees it more as a series of opportunities.
The opportunity to gain support, and just to be more confident in who they are as a person and who they are as a parent. So I don't really think it's what I teach them. It's probably what we all teach each other.
That teaching takes subtle form in the preschool environment. Singing, stories, and water play make up just part of the day. There's also lunch and outdoor playtime to make class complete. As if that isn't exhausting enough, Roxanne's days don't end when this room empties out. Her afternoons are filled with home visits. Each family gets 2 a month. Roxanne's been known to go above and beyond the call of duty there, helping parents with housework and giving them rides to doctor's appointments.
We're kind of there when we need each other, and we've had a lot of fun, and some of them I've known, for 6 years, and I watched their children being raised, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm kind of like a favorite aunt, and so I'm very fortunate in that.
If love could be measured in dollars, then this favorite aunt would quite possibly be one of the richest women in eastern Iowa. But then again, Roxanne would tell you her life is pretty rich as it is. She's right.
There's nothing I wouldn't do for her. She has helped me with my children, with myself, with everything, and I couldn't ask for a better friend.
Not only is Roxanne Dittmer a teacher, she's also a student. She attends classes for her doctoral degree at night. But right now, we want to say thank you to Roxanne Dittmer from Taylor Elementary School in Cedar Rapids.
To begin with, I'd like to thank our sponsors for their continued support on the behalf of children, families, and education. I would also like to say thank you to all of the parents and children who have attended Project Peace over the last 6 years. We've had lots and lots of fun, ups and downs and all arounds. I would also like to say thank you especially to those who nominated me, and there was 6 of them, 6 of my parents, and so I hope I don't forget anybody, so I have to use my fingers so I can remember. But to Tracy and Kelly and Phyllis and Mary and Kim, your words that you wrote about me were just so beautiful. I'm so truly blessed to have all you guys a part of my life. I'd like to also say thank you to my colleagues at Taylor Elementary School and Jim O'Connor, who every day demonstrate compassionate and appropriate and quality education for children. I would also like to thank my parents, Herb and Carol Dittmer, and my grandma Pritchard, who instilled in me the value of family. I would like to thank my husband, Stan Severson, for all of his support and for his understanding that my job is extremely important in my life. And lastly, I'd like to thank God, who leads me down this path of life. We've lost our funding for next year, so this is the last of Project Peace. And I don't know where God's taking me, but hopefully I'll remain here in Cedar Rapids to work with families and children. Thanks.
We want to take a moment now to thank our Thanks to Teachers judges. They had the very difficult job of sorting through the nominees and selecting our 9 winners. Dr. Janet Rohner is an assistant professor of education at Mount Mercy College in Cedar Rapids, and Teresa Schoen is an associate professor of education at Coe College. Now, they could not be with us tonight, but Wilfred Mickey Johnson is here. He is director of the Classic Upward Bound program at the Center for Urban Education at the University of Northern Iowa. We want to thank these judges for helping us choose the 9 outstanding teachers we are honoring tonight. We also want to take a moment to thank our Show You Care sponsors. These 4 sponsors and their employees really do care about the people of Eastern Iowa. They help us promote many community service projects here at TV9, including Thanks to Teachers. We couldn't do this without them. We want to thank them for their continued support of TV9's Show You Care. We have Lori Glover from Hardee's Restaurant. Next to her is Susie McKinster from St. Luke's Hospital. Also, Renee Gollenvo from Yonkers and Walter Haight from Slumberland. We want to thank all 4 of you so much for your support of programs like this and for showing that you do care. And we will say more thanks to teachers in just a moment, so stay with us. Welcome back to Thanks to Teachers. Wally Krawczyk has been teaching long enough now to have children of former students in his classes at Marshall Elementary School in Dubuque. And after all these years, he really still enjoys it. TV9's Dubuque reporter Ryan Girding shows how Mr. Krawczyk changes and shapes lives, one student at a time.
Washington made them famous.
Wally Krawczyk started teaching 25 years ago. His inspiration came from a faraway place, a fellow soldier serving in Vietnam.
And he said, Wally, I never knew how to read. And and it really bothered me, and I really internalized it. And it was at that point that I decided that I would become an educator.
Since then, most of his students have found he lives his life by the same credo he teaches.
If you want people to be interested in you, what do you have to do? What? You have to be interested in them.
Mr. Krawczyk takes an interest in all of his students. Sometimes it changes their lives. It did for Jeff Smith. He's a junior at Dubuque Senior High School now. Mr. Krawczyk was his 5th grade teacher at Marshall School. Back then, Jeff was no angel.
I was kind of like a troublemaker, always getting in trouble, didn't really care too much about school. And
I saw a certain devilment in him that I still have myself. And I guess what I saw in him the most was, Jeff, you're going to pay the price for some of the things you do, and I've been there.
But instead of sending Jeff to detention time and again, Mr. Krawczyk gave him special projects, talked to him, took an interest in him. It made all the difference.
Ever since then, I've been able to deal with problems a lot easier, and he just changed my attitudes towards life.
I think sometimes education is always portrayed in a very negative light. What's wrong with education? I guess I'm going to stand. I'm enough of an independent person. I'm going to say, hey, I'll tell you what's right with education. I'll tell you what's right with our young people. For every one child that you can tell me is a problem, I can give you 5 that aren't problems.
Mr. Krawczyk keeps the stories of those kids in his living book. It's a private place where he keeps letters, articles, pictures, and poems from people who mean the most to him.
Dad, you truly are my hero. I love you.
He's a hero to many of his students, past and present.
I'm thankful to God. I'm thankful to my family. I'm thankful to the peers I work with. I've had some absolutely wonderful people that I've worked with over the years, and it gives me that extra, you can't buy groceries with it, but it gives you that extra tenacity to kind of hang in there and, you know, just give them the best you know how.
Jeff Smith, who you saw in that story, nominated Mr. Krawczyk. He's involved in orchestra and football at Dubuque Senior High School, and since 5th grade, Jeff has not had a grade below a B. Quite an accomplishment for Jeff, and a special reason to say thanks to teacher Wally Krawczyk from Marshall School in Dubuque.
I stand here humbly thinking of my last 25 years of teaching and my own preparation for education over the last 51 years. I wish to thank all the understanding educators who nurtured and supported me in becoming the educator that I am. Special thanks to Fred Smith, who believed in me and supported me. Fred was principal at Marshall when Jeff Smith was a student. Jeff is an outstanding young man. Look at him and see what is right with young people, not what is wrong. Thanks also to my present principal, Dr. Kathy Kohlrich, and the Marshall staff who work with me in nurturing and helping the young students succeed in school and in their lives. A special recognition to John Lape, who was my teaching partner for 8 years. John closes his career after 38 years of touching many lives. Thanks, parents, for without you, we wouldn't have the opportunity to teach the children you have entrusted in us. I especially want to thank my mom and dad who have been there for me all these years, and my wife Margie, my oldest daughter Melissa, my son Matthew, and my young daughter Emily, and my granddaughter Ashley, who represent the future. Thank you, family. Thank you, educators. Thank you, KCRG, and thank you, God.
Sacred Heart Elementary in Olwine has been blessed with a very special teacher for more than 20 years. Sister Mary Kurt teaches her 3rd grade class with love and discipline. And TV9's Lori Johnson says those are traits that all of Olwine is thankful for.
Okay, what kind of a friend is Mary?
Talk to the staff and students at Sacred Heart School in Olwine, and they'll tell you what kind of friend and educator Sister Mary Kurt is.
She's strict in a nice way, and she's great at explaining things, like in math and science and reading, and she's one of the best teachers I've ever had.
She's always thinking about others. I think that's the big thing, that she's, and always pleasant, always ready for a good laugh. And she gives us a good laugh here at Sacred Heart too, and I think that's what really makes it.
Nicely probably means in a nice way. Nice way, right.
Sister Mary teaches 17 3rd grade students, and at the age of 65, she's still learning a lot as well. Sister Mary says everyone in her classroom is a teacher.
Well, you can learn how they look at life, you know, and what they do in different situations that make you think, oh, never thought of that.
Sister Mary's lessons go beyond reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Friendly letters. All right. See if there's anything in your index about friendly letters.
Sister Mary encourages all of her students to think happy, and she leads by example. She's always sending out letters and cards to people on special occasions. She's even sent a few letters of support to Hawkeye basketball coach Tom Davis. Sister Mary disciplines with love and concern. She's firm but gentle and works to instill morals and values in her students.
I think that's important in anyone's development, to have those qualities, to know what they mean and make them part of their lives.
Sister Mary has taught school around eastern Iowa for the last 44 years, and she doesn't plan on stopping anytime soon. Sister Mary plans to renew her teaching certificate in about a year. The entire staff nominated Sister Mary for TV9's Thanks to Teachers Award.
It's humbling in a way, and it also makes me want to do even more and even better.
And she has the same wish for her students.
I'd like to have them just be the very best people that they can be in our society, to learn all they can and then to just go out there and be the best person that's possible for them.
And with perseverance and praise from Sister Mary, anything is possible for these students.
Sister Mary also finds time to visit the elderly, and she raises money for school and community projects. Please welcome this outstanding teacher, Sister Mary Kurt, from Sacred Heart Elementary School in Olwine.
Thank you, Bruce. And to all the sponsors of the Thanks to Teachers Award, KCRG, Hardee's, Slumberland, St. Luke's Hospital, and Yonkers. I'm highly honored and deeply grateful to have been nominated and chosen for this wonderful award. It means a great deal to me to be recognized and honored for something that I believe in so deeply, that is, helping educate children to develop into the very best persons that they can be. I would also like to thank the people who nominated me, my principal, Sister Benjamin, and all the great teachers on the faculty at Sacred Heart School. So many there have touched my life, and I feel that I'm a better person and teacher because of this. And I consider myself truly blessed to be a part of such a caring community as Sacred Heart School in Olwine, Iowa. Thank you very much.
We'll say more thanks to teachers in a moment, so stay with us. Welcome back. We wanted to quick give you a little look at the award that is going to our 9 outstanding teachers tonight. They're receiving a plaque like this and also $250 from KCRG and our Show You Care sponsors. This plaque, by the way, goes to our next teacher. In today's high-tech times, teaching kids to enjoy reading can be quite a challenge, but Kay Schwenke, a 6th grade teacher at Lutton Elementary School in North English, has managed to change the rules over the past 3 decades. She has turned 2 generations of young readers into real bookworms. TV9's Mark Thomas takes us inside Kay Schwenke's unique classroom.
I do love teaching. It's been my life.
And reading plays a major role in Kay Schwenke's life.
I've had many students that haven't liked to read, and you get them into some book, and then they come up and they say, "Oh, this is really good. I really like this." Remember, really put expression into it when we read.
One book the class is reading has a story about some World War II era children imitating their stern teacher.
"I have no favorites," she proclaimed. "I hate all of you exactly the same." Can you imagine any teacher the first day of school really saying that to children?
Schwenke has also developed unique units for her students about the presidents and famous people.
We're going to have a special guest with us today.
Instead of just reading about famous people, Schwenke and her students bring them to life. The kids conduct interviews in costume, like this honorary visit from Louisa May Alcott, author of Little Women.
I was born in Germantown, Pennsylvania in 1832.
Schwenke loves to take chances in the classroom. Sometimes she even gets possessed.
A spirit would strike me, and then I would just erase all of the assignments off of the board, and we could sit down and read. And I would scream, I might run around the room, and the spirit was trying to tell me that we should have a reading party, put away everything and just read books.
I thought she was going to die. I thought she was having a heart attack or something.
Fellow teacher Shelley Striegel and the entire 6th grade nominated Schwenke for TV9's Thanks to Teachers Award.
They kept saying to me, "We get to read." And I said, "What do you mean?" And they said, "We don't have to read. We get to read on that day."
Kay Schwenke is also a cancer survivor. Her recovery and chemotherapy kept her out of the classroom for part of the school year 4 years ago.
I didn't have time to think about it a lot. I just went on, and I stayed positive, and things are great.
She's really been a real role model for me, and I'm going to try to start acting and thinking like she does. She's really inspired me.
When the 6th grade achieved its reading goal, Schwenke came up with a unique celebration, the reading rap.
I'm hip, I'm hop, and do the pop. Do you know what I'm thinking of?
I've always dreamed of being a great teacher, and I've really never thought I was, but I've certainly enjoyed it. And so to get this award, it's just overwhelming to me.
To see where the spirit takes her tonight. Kay Schwenke is retiring this year after 27 years in the classroom. She still plans to stay involved with school, and she'll teach her 5 grandchildren the joy of reading. Please join me now in saying thanks to teacher Kay Schwenke from Lutton Elementary School in North English.
Thank you. I will let you know right away the spirit's not going to strike tonight. First, I would like to thank KCRG and the sponsors for recognizing teachers in such a positive way and providing a vivid picture of how important good teachers are. How can I thank my beloved 6th graders for nominating me? Your class is so talented and caring. Your eagerness to learn and read new books has been a teacher's dream. You have made my last 2 years of teaching exceedingly rewarding. Thanks for putting me on Cloud 9, a memory I will cherish forever. And kids, I'm going to buy some books with the money. We're not dividing it. Mrs. Striegel, thanks for taking the time to type the letter for the students and adding your kind comments. You are an example of the wonderful colleagues with which I teach. Thank you, Mrs. Mott. You've always been a supportive principal and allowed me to be creative with my teaching. You are the best. And finally, thanks to the English Valleys community for all the support the last 27 years. I have truly loved teaching your children. Thank you.
The next teacher we honor tonight is Rick Snyder. He teaches at Waverly Shell Rock Junior High School. Mr. Snyder says he has a unique opportunity to make an impact on young people's lives. And TV9's Jenna Miller reports that the young people in his class think he is first class.
And the same thing's true here in Waverly. I know in many ways it's kind of a thankless job.
Rick Snyder is in his 3rd year on the job, and his students are giving thanks.
I'd like to thank him for helping me in class and on the track.
Stacy Kielman says Rick Snyder is on the right track when it comes to teaching and coaching. That's why she wants to thank her favorite teacher.
He's one of everybody's favorite teachers, and even if they don't have him, they know he's a nice guy, and in the future, if the classes that are going to come in, I'm sure they're going to like him too, and they're going to feel the same way about him as I do.
And how Snyder feels about education is
not some big game plan that I have that I approach each class, but rather just showing care and concern to the individual student. Okay, and then read that.
Snyder involves each individual student in the learning process. Right. At times, he even turns the classroom into a courtroom.
This is going to be really entertaining, isn't it?
Snyder's lesson plans always involve a series of special projects.
Then came home.
Students are now sending travel mates across the world to learn geography.
You hope that you're making an impact on somebody's life, and yet you're never quite sure.
But his students are sure.
If it wasn't for him, I don't think I'd be where I am in track and in school today.
Stacy says the letter she wrote to nominate Snyder barely touches on all he's done for her. Under his coaching, she took first place in the mile at a conference track meet.
I've gone back and read over Stacy's letter it was kind of like, oh yeah, I guess I did that. Oh yeah, I guess I did. It wasn't one of those deals where I felt, okay, she won first place because of me.
But because of him, these students are learning more than social studies. Their teacher is giving them lessons in life.
He's great. He's really helped me believe in myself, and
he just says, don't get your heads down.
And he always is there to talk to if you ever need to.
And I've never had people there for me like that.
And it's teachers like Rick Snyder who these students will remember.
And they come back from college and you say, you know, there was one day when I was really down and you put your arm around me and said, you're something special. Those things I won't know until a long time down the road.
And Rick Snyder was a minister before he went into teaching. And join me now in saying thank you to Rick Snyder from Waverly Shell Rock Junior High School.
Well, thank you, KCRG, and thank you, sponsors. This is indeed an honor. I think I was chosen to go last and selected to go last because as a junior high teacher, I think they knew that I would have the most patience. But it has been patience to sit here and listen, and yet at the same time, a great inspiration and challenge to hear how 8 other educators are making a difference in young people's lives. I've even picked up some ideas that I'll steal and take back to my own classroom, so thanks, guys. I would like to begin by acknowledging the faculty and staff of Waverly Shell Rock with whom I work each and every day. Many of the professionals, both at the junior high and in the district as a whole, are equally, if not even more, deserving of an award such as this. You're a great staff to work with, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I was simply blessed with a student like Stacy Kielman who took the time and energy and effort to nominate me for an award such as this. So thanks to you too, Stacy. Next, I'd like to thank my wife Karen, my bride of 13 years. Her support and encouragement as we've made the transition into the teaching profession have been greatly appreciated, both as we made that initial transition and each and every day since. Thank you, Karen. I love you. Next, I'd like to take this final opportunity to say thank you, most importantly, to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Other educators that we've already heard from have made the statement about how their faith has made an impact in the classroom. And my faith also makes an impact. It gives me the grace and compassion to in turn offer that to the 120 plus junior high students that cross the threshold of my classroom each and every day. Thank you, each and every one. You're a very integral part of my life.
Congratulations. And stay with us. We'll be right back. Congratulations to all of our teachers again, and thank you for joining us as we say thanks to teachers. Have a good night.